Yoga, I would request Dr. Nagendra Sahab to elaborate upon this session and kindly introduce the subject and pontify your exhibition in this. And, cordless can be used, sir. Kindly, please, wherever you feel comfortable, sir. Please, sir.
My dear brothers and sisters, I should congratulate the Grameen Sneh Foundation for organizing this very important meeting on health, wellness, and development. All of you are aware that yoga has started becoming very important, and particularly after the International Day of Yoga promoted by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, it has spread all over the country and all over the world. In one stroke, he was able to bring yoga around the world. Should we be grateful to him? I bring greetings to all of you from Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan Samsthan Yoga University, probably one of its kind in the whole world. And here we have that in our campus called Prashanti Kutiram. We have got Swami Vivekananda's tallest statue of 23 feet high. And our university is based on the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. Today my talk essentially is to bring the holistic vision of yoga for particularly non-communicable diseases. We all are aware of this, probably the definition of health by World Health Organization. Health is not merely absence of a disease, but it is a state of well-being at the physical, mental, social, and spiritual levels. If I plot this is what I call the health line. This is our first quadrant is our normal health, and that is from where we have to move towards positive health and perfect health. But unfortunately, what is happening? We become sick, then we start going to the hospital, try to treat that. So though we say prevention is better than cure, do we really mean that? In the national budget, if you see how much of money we spend in any country, less than 1%. How can we do that? Therefore, I have been pleading in the Planning Commission, which I have been a member for several, that we in India should develop more and more preventive measures. And that's where yoga has now come into the prominence as a wonderful preventive effect. No doubt the modern medical system had great contributions and 20th century achievements, eradication of infectious and contagious diseases, sophisticated surgeries, and we were so enthused that the WHO announced health for all by 2000. But as we approach the end of the last century, new challenges started coming up. What you call the pandemics of the new era. Asthma, diabetes, hypertension, heart problem, epilepsy, migraine, irritable bowel syndrome, neuroticism, cancer, HIV, anxiety neurosis, and a host of other. They are now called non-communicable diseases. And there is no solution to that. Once you are diabetic, ever a diabetic. Once you have cancer, your days are numbered. Once you have hypertension, you must go on taking medicines after medicine. Why? Why this has happened? In spite of all the achievements of the modern science, why this has happened? There is a basic reason for that, what I call the knowledge base. Knowledge base of the modern medical science is limited to the physical universe around us. What do I mean? Over the last 400 years in the West, science has grown from scratch. And today we have understood everything about the physical world. Every object made out of molecules, atoms, protons, neutrons, electrons, fundamental particles, and everything made out of packets of energy called quarks. E equals mc square gives you how much of energy is in given matter. You can precisely calculate how much of energy. For example, if I convert this into energy, it can burn up the whole of Patna city itself. Such is the tremendous amount of energy packed into so-called inert matter. We also understood the laws that govern them. Newton's laws of motion, which we have studied in high school days. But when you go to extremely high speeds, like an electron swirling around the nucleus, then Newtonian mechanics will not hold. We have to go to quantum mechanics, theory of relativity, and others. All that we have understood today. Therefore, our knowledge about the physical world has been a big success. Anything physical, we have been a big success. Putting man on the moon, building skyscrapers, underwater tunnels, and sophisticated surgeries, pharmacological interventions, and varieties of sophisticated surgeries we have now. Now what is happening to the science? That wonderful book, many of the elders might have come to know this turning point, written by Fritz of Capra, a famous quantum physicist from University of California. And when it came in 1983, I remember everywhere the talk of the town was Fritz of Capra, Fritz of Capra. In that beautiful 250-page book, he has written in such a wonderful way, like almost like a story, as to how science started from the age of Newton and Descartes, how it grew, what are all the breakthroughs, what are the repercussions, how the lifestyle changed, how we got technology, everything. Then he says, a time has come, we have to go beyond the physical. To understand, is there something like prana, life? What is it that we call as mind? Can mind exist without the brain? What is the difference between mind, emotions, intellect? Is there something like consciousness? What is the concept of gods and goddesses, devils and pishachas? Do they exist? Into this region of subtlety and causality, the science has started progressing. So in this, science is in a very, very preliminary stage. We are in an embryonic stage. Therefore, any challenge that we face today, related to prana, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, chaitanya, we have no solution because our knowledge is very less. Anything physical, we have a solution. That's the reason why we don't have solution. Any challenge related to these subtler things, we have no solution. And the modern stress and the modern pandemics of the new era belong to this category. Whether it's cancer or diabetes, hypertension or heart problem, epilepsy or migraine, neuroticism or psychosis, all belong to this category, which are very complicated, sophisticated, multi-dimensional challenge that we face. They are not merely physical. No doubt physical thing causes, the diet changes and other things cause, but mental restlessness, emotional upsurges, deep-rooted psychological conflict, all are at the base of these challenges that we face. They are very sophisticated, multi-dimensional challenge. And what is the solution we have? One-dimensional modern medical system. How can we solve a multi-dimensional challenge with a one-dimensional solution? That's why we have been a failure. So what is the way out? If modern science and technology and medical world has no solution, it's here that India has to contribute. Because in our country, we have the complete knowledge base of the whole creation. And that knowledge base is available to us, yoga, Ayurveda, and other dimensions. Where is that knowledge base? They are in the Vedas. Particularly the essence of the Vedas called Vedanta, called the Upanishads. They contain all this knowledge base. How many Upanishads? Somebody asked me. I said, I don't know, sir. There are maybe thousands, but I have seen 800 Upanishads in print. But 10 are the most important, called Dashopanishads. Isha, Kena, Katha, Mundaka, Mandukya, Taittiriya, Prashna, Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka. These are the 10 Upanishads. And that gives the entire knowledge base of all the Upanishads. Mandukya is the smallest and Brihadaranyaka is the biggest. Though smallest, Mandukya Upanishad is considered to be the most profound. In Parampara it said, Ekam Mandukyamev alam. If you take one Mandukya and study, it's enough. You don't have to study anything else. That's the thing that gives. Okay? What is the content of the Upanishads? What do they say? What is that knowledge base that we have? I want to share with a nice story of a king who had 4 wives. Fourth wife is the one whom he loved the most. He spent all his time, energy, money to take care of the wife. She also loved him very much. Third wife is the most beautiful, most attractive, a great PRO. And king was very proud. Any new person who would come from other country, he will send her. And she will hypnotize the person and bring it to the base of the king. But in the heart of hearts, the king was a little afraid. What is going to happen if she meets a very big emperor? Probably she may run away with him. That was the fear here. Second wife, she is a very considerate person, always patient and very pragmatic. Any problem the king and the ministers could not solve, they will turn to her and there she goes solving the problem. First wife is a very loyal partner to the king. She always remained in the palace, never came out, and kept the whole palace with immaculate beauty and serene vibrations and wonderful hospitality. Anybody who came to the palace, they felt that serenity and the calmness and the peace one side and wonderful hospitality. But nobody knew who is doing all that. She was always behind the scene. The unfortunate thing was, the king also did not bother about her. He never asked, hey, have you taken food? Never. But it mattered not. because her love was so pure and refined that he never wanted anything in return. In our normal love, there is always expectation of a return. We are good friends, we have good love, I will give you a party, I expect that you also give me a party back. But in real love, I give a party and I never expect anything in return. That's called the prema bhava. So she belonged to that category, went on serving, and expecting nothing in return. These are the 4 wives. A day came to the king, as it happens to all of us. He became very sick, old, and is about to die. Few more hours left. He thought of his luxurious life with 4 wives taking care of him. What is going to happen to me when I die? I will go to an unknown place, nobody to serve me. Life will be so boring. What to do? He started scratching his head, as some people do, to get some new ideas. And he got a brilliant idea. What is it? Let me see whether any of my wives can come with me. That's the idea he got. Naturally, he turned to his 4th wife. Oh dear, I loved you the most, spent all my energy, time, everything with you. We have been such close friends. Now, I want your company. What? I'm going there. Please join me. What will she say? You fellow, you are dying. You want me to die? Goodbye, goodbye. She walked away. A big hit to the king. Then turned to his 3rd wife and he says, see, I'm going to a super space. There will be super VVIPs. I'm introducing to all VVIPs and others. Now come, I've introduced to this thing. Let's have a new role, a new dimension in our life. Come on, join me. She says, I'm not a fool. A bird in hand is but 2 in the bush. I'm only waiting for that moment for you to die. As soon as you die, already that emperor I have chosen for my next partner. All the fears of the king came true. Then he would turn to his 2nd wife. Oh dear, you solved all my problems in my life. Now I have the biggest problem, biggest challenge. Yes, sir, what can I do? I'm going there to super space. Nobody to keep me company. Both these wives have betrayed me. I want that you should come and join me. In all humility, with her head down, she says, oh, king, how I wish I can do that. I'm so sorry, I can't help you this time. The best I can do is carry your dead body to the grave or the crematorium, she said. All the hopes vanished for the king. Then he hears a very sweet voice. Oh king, don't worry, I'm going to go with you. Wherever you go, I'll be with you and continue to serve you as I have been doing. King felt so bad, so cut up. Shame on me. When I had done everything for her, I never asked whether he had taken food. Now she is the only one who is going to come and do these things. So that's the story. Now the question is, who is that king? Who are the 4 wives? Upanishad tell, each one of us represent that king. Each one of us have the 4 wives. Who are they? The 4th wife is the fond body that we love the most. We spend all our energy, time to take care of it. But no matter how much time and effort we make in lavish, in making it look good, it is going to have, when we die, it will go away. 4th wife is going to say goodbye. Who is the 3rd wife? Most wonderful, PRO and enchanting. That's our possession, our wealth. Look at my beautiful house that I have built, in the marine drives, in the best of the localities, and 20 floors, how many rooms, and wonderful things, 50 rooms. How many people living in that? 4 people. Yeah, how do you manage all these things? Doesn't matter, I have got my robots. I put 1 robot in each room and it will take care of all cleanliness and everything. How do you manage? I got my report, I can operate from my room, anything that you want. What is going to happen when we die? All this is going to go to someone else. The 3rd wife is going to marry someone else. Who is that 2nd wife? Very pragmatic. This is our family and friends. They all come to our help. They say, how long? As long as we are alive. When we die, what is going to happen? They can only carry our dead body to the grave or the crematorium. Then who is that 1st wife? Always unseen, behind the scene. That's what we call as our jivatma, individual soul. But we never look at it. We are too busy in our work, always running. And if our yoga expert says that everybody should practice yoga 1 hour a day, 1 hour? How I wish I had 1 hour. If I had 1 hour, I would earn another $1,000 more. We have no time. We don't know where we are running, why we are running, what is our purpose of life, what is the objective in life. We don't have, unfortunately. Therefore, the Upanishad tell us, please don't regret like the king in the end. Start looking inwards and unravel the mysteries of our inner world. And what is that knowledge base? Upanishad says. It tells that there is an unchanging reality. As you go deeper and deeper into a thing, huge world of itself. And when you go, there is the infinite, pure consciousness. And emerging out of that is this ever-changing dimension of creation. And this unchanging dimension is called Brahman, is called Atman, is called self. You may call it in scientific words reality, pure consciousness. Patanjali called it as Kaivalya, probably Buddha called Nirvana, and in Vedanta it's called Moksha. It's a state of infinite happiness. It is a state of infinite bliss, infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite freedom. And that is our original state. I call that as our real home. And that is the dimension. Coming out of it, the ever-changing dimension of creation. This creation goes on changing. The body, in a day, a billion cells get created, a billion cells get destroyed. Since we all came to the hall, all our bodies are totally changed. We have a new, fresh body altogether. What to talk of the mind, emotions, intellect, prana, everything changing. Therefore, there was the biggest of the Buddhistic philosopher, Nagarjuna, a great logician. He developed a model called Kshanikavada. Kshanika means it goes on changing. That's the nature. Somebody asked, hey, if everything is changing in creation, is there something that does not change? He kept mum. He did not answer. But the later group, the Mahayana group who came, they said it is Shunya, Shunyavadis. But after a few hundred years, when Shankaracharya came into picture, he said, how can this be? This fantastic world that we have, this infinite world that we have, can it come from a zero? Can it come from a Shunya? No. That also should be infinite. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. This also Purna, that also should be Purna. What is the relation between two? Purnat Purnam Budachyate. From that original source of infinity comes this infinity, this world, this fantastic world that we have. What happens when you take away this from there? X minus x becomes zero. Will it become a zero? X minus x equals zero is the finite world. Infinity minus infinity could be infinity. Purnasya Purnam Adaya, Purnam eva avasishyate. That Purna remains untouched. That is the whole dimension. So this creation that we see has the seen and the unseen dimension. The seen dimension is the physical body that we all see. But there are unseen dimensions, the subtle and the causal layer. And that is what has been put forth here as the Panchakoshas, 5 layers. In the center, we have got Annamaya Kosha. That's what we see as the physical body. Then slightly bigger than the physical body, the Pranamaya Kosha, the bioplasmic body. Then we have the Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha is our causal body. And everything starts from Anandamaya Kosha, start coming down. And Vijnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, then comes the physical body. Physical body is the end product. This is the consciousness-based approach that we have. This is the 5-layered existence according to the Upanishad. In Anandamaya Kosha, we are in a stage of Ananda, bliss. And here, the mind has not started coming up yet. Thinking has not started. We are in a state of potential divinity. And it is a state of unity consciousness, bliss, Anandamaya, full of Ananda. Do we have any experience of that? Everyone has that. In the night when you have a deep sleep, dreamless sleep called Sushupti, then we are going to that Anandamaya Kosha. What does every person suffering want? Doctor, give me a sedative so that I can sleep. A cancer patient suffering from immense pain says, normal sedatives will not work. Give me a morphine so that I'll be able to sleep off. That is our state of the causal state. Anandamaya Kosha. From there we come to the Vijnanamaya Kosha, where the mind starts working, the intellect starts functioning, and I'm different from you starts coming up. I'm different from you because of the thinking. But in Vijnanamaya Kosha, the knowledge is total. You have all knowledge in Vijnanamaya Kosha. And Pragnanam vai Brahma, it is said. So any information you want, any knowledge you want, you just go there and pick it up. I was thinking, how is it ever possible? Thanks to modern technology, we have the Google. Any information what you Google and you can get. I call Vijnanamaya Kosha as our infinite Google, And only thing you must know how to take your mind to that. This is the whole technology that Patanjali developed. And since the knowledge is total, every action we do is perfect action. We are in the state of perfect health. No disease, no tension, no stress, nothing whatsoever. We are in a state of perfect health. And all the powers are there. And in our country, we had great masters who belong to this category. And what is speciality of India? It's not only the Rama or Krishna of the epic characters. Again and again, every state excelled with such things. We had Sant Glandev from Maharashtra, Swami Narayan from Gujarat, large number of Siddhas from Tamil Nadu, Shankaracharya from Kerala, Allama Prabhu from Karnataka, large number of people from the central Madhya Pradesh area. And in this area, great master and Kashmiri Shaivism, West Bengal, Lahiri Maharshi, all such things. That's why India is not just a Punya Bhumi, it's a Divya Bhumi. And then we come to the Manomaya Kosha. We become more different because now we have started developing our likes and dislikes. What I like, you don't like. What you like, she doesn't like. Likes and dislikes have come. And I like it, therefore I want it. I don't like it, therefore I don't want it, have come. Likes and dislikes and attractions and repulsions have come. Slowly they power themselves up to very powerful emotions. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Shadripu jisko bolte hai. And anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, infatuation, arrogance. And when they grow up, then our actions are now governed by the emotions rather than what is right and what is wrong. This is the deterioration of values. This is the challenge that we face. We all know what is right. Why we don't do right things? Because we are drawn by our emotions. Every diabetic knows that no sweet, no sweet. But we are so fond of our gulab jamun. We are so fond of our birthday cake. When you face them, a big war starts. This is called Duryodhana within us. Duryodhana says, Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. Janami adharmam nachame nivrittihi. I know what is right, I don't do right things. I know what is wrong, I am drawn to do wrong things. I know it is the atrocious sin to ask Dushasana to go and pull Draupadi and make her naked in such an august audience. What to do? When I remember her words in Rasuyagya, Andhasya putraha andha, my blood boils with greed and jealousy. Come on, Dushasana, go, pull her and make her naked. I want to take revenge. Janami adharmam, nachame nivritti. I know it is right, Krishna has come, half the kingdom I have to give. But say, no, nothing doing, let the war decide. Krishna says, please, please, for heaven's sake, don't do this thing. Millions will be massacred and rivers of blood will flow. Okay? Please give 5 villages. I will convince the Pandavas. Let us stop this treacherous of a war. Duryodhana thinks, his intellect says, can there be a more magnanimous offer? I can give some desert-like villages, small villages I can give. Give it, give it. But his ego comes. No, Krishna, not 5 villages, not even 5 inches I am going to give. Come on, let's go for the war. Janami dharmam nachame pravrittihi. This is what happens to us. So knowing fully what is right, we don't do right things. This is called prajnaparada in Ayurveda. Our expert is going to tell you. Once you do that, a big imbalance sets in the Manomaya Kosha. And that imbalance is called Adhi. That's the root cause for all these modern NCDs. And that starts percolating down. That seed has been understood very well as Adhi. It is a state of mind in which you have uncontrolled speed of the mind. And that big imbalance at the Manomaya Kosha percolates down due to the Prajnaparada. And then it comes from the physical Pranamaya Kosha, in which everything is in a beautiful balance like a lake. And once you hit, the whole prana start getting disturbed. And who cares if the breath is fast? We don't understand if the left is more or right is more. We don't understand if it is jerky, haphazard, and this thing. We continue on and on. Then it starts hitting the higher centers of the brain and causing the autonomic imbalance and the endocrine imbalance. The stress reaction spreads all over the body and continues, and it stays for a long time. It starts hitting the weakest organ or the organ which is damaged, and you get into different ailments. And that is the whole pathophysiology. They are called the Adhija Vyadhi. What do we do? essentially. When Vijnanamaya Kosha, perfect health, Manomaya Kosha, Adhi, comes to the pranic imbalance, becomes the stress reaction, becomes the Vyadhi. And what do we do in the modern medical system? When I got cancer, I got surgery, I got radiation, I got chemotherapy to kill those cancer cells. Pharmacological interventions, surgeries. They all work at the body level. But where is the root cause? Root cause is here in the Manomaya Kosha, Adi. And we are not handling the Adi. Therefore, you have the surgery, you have radiation, you have chemotherapy, and you get back to cancer. Diabetes, same thing. No solution. What is the way out? The healthcare delivery systems have started looking beyond the modern medical allopathic system through complementary, alternate, and traditional systems of healthcare. And the United States established the National Institute of Complementary and Alternative Medicine. The WHO emphasized on the traditional systems to be brought. Fortunately, in our country, we have the complete Ayush system right from beginning. And thanks to our Prime Minister, he started that new ministry for Ayush separately. Shipaji Naik has been made the minister for the Ministry of Ayush. 6 systems in Ayush, as you know. A is Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. 6 systems. And the contributions of India, Ayush, is very, very large. Before the allopathic system came, it was all Ayush system that we have in our country. And it's based on the science of holistic living that we talk about. So there are a large number of research papers that are available, 33,000 research papers that we can find in the text journals. And this is what we do here. So what we do is to deal with man in his totality. Particularly, Adi has to be removed. And what we do in yoga is to work in yoga in all systems, Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. Yoga is not merely the physical asanas. Asanas form a very small part of the Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali. In Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali, we have Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, Antaranga and Bahiranga Yogas. And this is called the Ashtanga Yoga, 8-limbed yoga. Asana is a small part of the entire 8 limbs. And 8 limbs are not total. Samadhi is not the end. After that, you have various types of Samadhi which he describes, and Kaivalya is the last. That the 8 types of Samadhi he puts. In the whole gamut, asanas form a very small part. And that is part of the Raj Yoga or Patanjali Yoga. Then we have the Gnana Yoga, the path of the intellect, the science of emotion culture, how to deal with our emotions, how to remove Adi, we have the Bhakti Yoga, Narada Bhakti Sutras. Gnana Yoga, we have the Brahma Sutras, and Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Karma Yoga, everything has to be brought to our day-to-day practice. How to live a life in which every action we do should become a yoga. It's not in the morning you practice for 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour and forget about it. The whole life should be yoga. And that's the Karma Yoga dimension. The secret of converting every action into yoga is the Karma Yoga. These are the 4 main streams at Swami Vivekananda. So we use all these things to bring about the balance, remove the Adi, and we have the wonderful results that we get. Well, sir, this is all good theory, good things, philosophy, but what about practical things? We started doing research. So Vivekananda said, you have to combine the best of the East with the best of the West. Best of the East is modern, our entire philosophical base, scientific basis, Upanishadic wisdom base. That has to be brought forth. On the other side, it has put into the anchor of the modern scientific research. So our university has been developed for that. And since 35 years, we have been doing a lot of yoga therapy research, and we have published nearly 500 research papers in the top medical leading institutions and other things. And that through the IAYT. So now, for example, look at that. We have MSc dissertations, 50 dissertations. When you look at all research papers in the world, we have contributed more than 80% of the research in the whole research of the yoga. Therefore, our institution stands very unique in the whole system. There are thousands of yoga organizations. What is our specialty? Scientific research. And that is what people like that in our dimension. So using that, we have been able to treat large number of different ailments, modern NCDs. We have got a 250 beds facility in our Prashanti Kuteram 100-acre campus where people come from all over the world. Very complicated things. Earlier, we used to get very, very simple things. Gradually, it started coming. And look at the numbers we had dealt with. Nearly 200,000 cases of bronchial asthma and respiratory disorders, nasal allergy and other. 25,000 cases of diabetes. hypertension, heart problems, eye problems, short sight, long sight, astigmatism, squint, initial stage of cataract. Our youngsters have started wearing big spectacles right at the age of 4, 5, 6. We wanted to eradicate. And thousands of children have been able to remove their specs by using the yoga techniques of integrated approach. Then obesity, the back pain, 25,000. Cancer, 350 cases. All things. Mental disorders, 1,600. And people get wonderful results, doing that thing. And using that, we have now added on other dimensions. We have taken up Ayurveda research for diagnosis, the Prakriti questionnaire. And can we measure the pranamaya kosha? Was our challenge. And fortunately, we have the technology to measure and photograph your pranamaya kosha. We can clearly say where are our imbalances, which organ is in a greater imbalance. Quantitative things can be measured. So we know that this is the amount of imbalance in the kidney, in immune system, and then all be corrected using the different techniques. When people come, we measure these things, pranamaya kosha. And Ayurveda, the specialty is the Vata Pitta Kapha. We used to have expert Ayurveda Vaidyas who will just put their thing and reel out numbers and tell everything that's happening to your body, mind, everything. Today, we have very less or hardly anybody of that excellence. So now a new thing has been developed called as the Nadi Tarangini. It takes the pressure transducers and measures the entire dimension. And we have been correlating that. It can give you what is the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, everything we can do. Similarly, we have got the questionnaires, Tamas, Rajas and Sattva. What is the personality that is coming up? And just, I will ask you to fill up a questionnaire. In about 10 minutes, we will tell you got 40% Tamas, 40% Rajas, 20% Sattva. And we will be able to completely change. All our students are made to transform themselves in our university, and we want Sattva should go up, and the lifestyle should come up, and that's the dimension. And what we want to do that, we have started working, is to bring the immediate effect. The greatest success of modern medical system is that when you have sugar levels soaring high, then you have the insulin, it's going to come down. You got immense pain, you got a painkiller, it gives you the result. Can we develop such things in Ayurveda? We have started working on that. In yoga, we have developed. A person comes with asthma attack, we have got what is called as chair breathing. If an inhaler, a steroid inhaler takes about 14 minutes to give you the result, our yoga chairing gives in 12 minutes. We have measured that, and then we have shown, we have published the research papers. So like that, we have to build the new dimensions which are the speciality of the allopathic system through our Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and we have a host of such people. And now the sugar levels can be brought down. We have got Lagushanka Prakshadan, and the sugar levels just come down, And I remember one of the person who came from Calcutta, he had severe diabetes for almost 18 years. And he went on increasing their medication. And insulin came, 20 units, 30 units, 40 units. When it came 80 units, still the sugar levels were completely not coming under control. He used to have, PVBS was 250, 280, and FPS itself used to be 140, 160. And his endocrinologist said, go to Nagaratna, she is our medical director, and go to Prashanti, stay there. And that's how he came. And he started finding very deep relaxation. And on the 4th day, he did this Lagushanka Prakshadan, and sugar came down. We know that always, and we keep some sugars so that we give them this thing, and he could not take insulin. From the 5th day, he stopped insulin, and now it is 4 years, and he has not touched insulin, and then diabetes has completely under normal, and you can see such miracles have happened. Similarly, cancer. Cancer also, we had such people who were declared dead. We started our work in Kidwai Memorial Institute of Oncology in Bangalore, and Dr. Krishna Bhargava was at that time the director. And 6 patients, 3 of them were breast cancer, 1 was bone cancer, another was the blood cancer. They all were almost declared dead. They had surgery, they had radiation, they had chemotherapy, it had spread all over the body, metastasis had come, and then Krishna Bhargava said, we can't help you anymore except to give painkillers. Why don't you try yoga? That's how they came. Our Dr. Nagarata is the MD, MRCP, FRCP from England. She came back. And she also did not assure, okay, you'll be cured or anything like that. Okay, start yoga. Maybe your mind will become calm. You'll be having a little positive health. And you'll be able to leave the body with better composure. This is how we said. Every day they used to come for 2.5 hours. 1 hour theory, 1 hour practice, half an hour interaction. People started feeling so good. They used to feel very relaxed, very comfortable. I remember on the 16th day, one of the breast cancer patients, she is a professor of mathematics, she has only 35 years. She came, "Doctor, I'm feeling so good. Why not I go for work?" Dr. Nagartna said, "Okay, go, but don't work too much. Work 2 hours, 3 hours, slowly build up. Don't get stressed up. Stress is a killer." And she started working, and it all happened in 1986 when they came. Even now she is living today. And the breast cancer paper, others are all working. The biopsies have shown normalcy. How did this happen? What is the rationale behind it? We started working in that. Many of you know that cancer cells are not external germs or viruses coming from outside. They are all born in our body. As I said, in our body, a billion cells get created. Out of them, there are some naughty cells which are created, maybe 1,000 or so. But we have very strong defense. We have our immune system which gobbles them up. Not only the cancer cells, from outside, thousands of germs are coming, that all will be taken care of by our defense. Now, this immune system has a very special quality to do this. It has to find out who is the enemy, who is a friend. Enemy it has to gobble up, friends it has to promote. In all our cases, when the cancer cells are done, the immune system knows cancer cells are all very enemies, and then it will gobble up. But somehow something happens to the immune system, it loses that sensitivity and deciphering capacity and thinks that cancer cells are my good friends. शत्रु को मित्र मान लिया. इसलिए क्या हुआ, कैंसर से धीरे धीरे बढ़ना शुरू हो गया. 10 साल में, 15 साल में धीरे धीरे बना के ट्यूमर हो गया और मैलिग्नेंसी हो गया. तो क्या होता है, आप हॉस्पिटल में जाते हैं तो सर्जरी होता है, रेडिएशन होता है, कीमोथेरेपी होता है, वो कैंसर सेल्स को पूरा मारना. परंतु उससे हमारा इम्यून सिस्टम भी थोड़ा थोड़ा कमज़ोर हो जाता है. तो इसीलिए क्या करना, दिस नॉट अ सॉल्यूशन. वी हैव टू स्ट्रेंथन द इम्यून सिस्टम. दिस व्हाट वी डू. Why does the immune system lose this capacity to decipher who is a friend, who is an enemy? It is the stress. It is very well known today that stress has an immunosuppressant factor. Stress will completely change your objectivity. For example, you are very stressed up. You are very anxious, very nervous. What is going to happen to you? You lose your objectivity. You get confused. Same thing happens to the immune system. It gets confused and thinks that cancer is my good friend. So what is to be done? Stress reduction. When you reduce the stress, then you have the solution. This is what we do, essentially. And in our university, we have developed a very special technique called Avartan Dhyan. Avartan Dhyan is based on the Manduk Karika. For example, if you sleep for 6 hours, the amount of rest that you get, good sleep, not disturbed sleep, it gives you 9% rest. As measured in modern physiology, 9% reduction in metabolic rate. But if you do this Avartan Dhyan for half an hour, metabolic rate comes down by 32%. As a result, your immune system blossoms. Just start giving that cyclic meditation. Immune system is going to blossom. It will think cancer is an enemy. You start gobbling up. People who had very severe things, almost big throat cancer and then mouth cancer and then breast cancer, a lot of people have come, they have been able to do. That's the basic thing. I consider diabetic and cancer are two associated things. If immune system thinks that cancer as an enemy, as a good friend, in diabetes, it thinks that insulin, is an enemy. When we take food, sugar level in the blood goes up. Then it sends the signals to the beta cells of the pancreas. Why don't you send insulin now? The sugar level has to be brought. In all our system, immediately the beta cells of the pancreas produces insulin, sends, and the sugar level is going to come down. But in diabetics, what happens is when the insulin is coming up from the beta cells, it is moving towards the bloodstream, immune system thinks, hey, you fellow, you are a big enemy, you want to go and spread throughout the body, I will not allow. It creates what is called as the autoimmune barrier. By increasing the insulin sensitivity, decreasing insulin sensitivity. And therefore, the insulin cannot reach the bloodstream. Again, in the bloodstream, it sends signals. Hey, what happened? 10 seconds back, I asked you to send the insulin. It has not come. Come on, send. Again, the beta cells will produce more insulin and start sending, but the immune barrier doesn't happen. Why? Because the immune system thinks insulin is an enemy. So again, the root cause is stress. So you give cyclic meditation, it will work wonders. You have dealt with 25,000 cases of diabetes. We had very severe cases who were taking insulin. They have been able to stop. India has become the diabetic capital of the world, as you know, and we want to prevent India becoming the diabetic capital. We have taken up Stop Diabetes movement in the whole thing. In our university, we have got 5 divisions. Yoga, spirituality. You have to have the wonderful knowledge, all wisdom that's available within us in our Ayurveda texts, Yoga texts, Upanishads and Yoga Shastras, all has to be unraveled. Unfortunately, our education system doesn't do that. So in our university, everybody has to study the Sanskrit and get all these things well versed. Then they have to unravel what is the secret that's available and test by modern scientific research. Yoga and life sciences, yoga and physical sciences, management studies and humanities. And we have 150 PhD students and master's degree, BSc, all put together about 1,500. Essentially, what we had to do is, we have conquered outer space, but not the inner space. We have split the atom, but not our prejudice. So a time has come that we have to break our prejudice and open ourselves to the holistic vision. This is what is happening today, thanks to our Prime Minister, who brought yoga to the world. And as you remember, on June 21st last year, 30 crores of people practiced that common protocol in our country, and 240 countries all over the world practice that yoga. Yoga not merely as asanas. In our common protocol, we developed with the help of all the yoga masters. They gave me an opportunity to be the chairman of the IDY, as many of you know. And we were able to bring all the yoga masters to come to a consensus to have a common protocol of 35 minutes. We had the prayer, we had the Shithilikarana Vyayama, then we had 15 minutes of asana, 5 minutes pranayam, 5 minutes meditation, 5 minutes sankalpa. All aspects of Dhyana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga were incorporated into it. And that's what people liked, all the things. Very simple practices. Therefore, it is time that we bring yoga to dimension, and based on that we have taken up the entire Stop Diabetes movement. And in the cancer field also, we want to have a complete screening and then give them the yoga practices and see how this is going to come up. In surrounding 100 villages of our university, our students will go and start screening all these people. Unfortunately, we don't have good screened data in the whole country. And then we give them the yoga practice and see how the cancer is going to come down, how the diabetes is going to come down in a very systematic, scientific way. During the last June, throughout the country, we have Stop Diabetes movement camps of 1 week, and 1,560 camps we had. 56,000 people came, and we have monitored. Within 1 week, the FPS is going to come down by 20 units. And this is how the growing curve of diabetes we want to bring down. That's our whole mission and vision. And similarly, the cancer has to be dealt with very effectively, and we have a basic solution that's available to us. So building awareness is very good, and we have to do that. Therefore, many people will start reducing the wrong habits. But that alone will not do. We have to bring in the solution to the whole thing. Modern medical system can do the screening, it can bring the awareness, it can do everything. But what is the solution? This is what I have been asking Gulab Nabi Azad ji, and therefore he said that we have not been able to do that for diabetes. And similarly, now, fortunately, the present ministry, our J.P. Nadda ji, has been very supportive, and he said, let us take up this thing and we will support by taking the data before, and then we will fund that. And the entire diabetes thing we are developing. Similarly, I'm so happy that the Sneha Foundation has come forward to deal with cancer, and thanks to Manisha and other experts and luminaries and celebrities, if they come forward, it becomes very easy. Throughout the country, we can do that. And we have the science, we have got the technology, we have got the research, everything done. And we have published papers. In diabetes, we have published nearly 20 papers. And in cancer, we had 25 papers. Recently, we had a paper that was published in clinical oncology with an impact factor of 23. And we have a big cancer project going on, MD Anderson Cancer Center. They are the biggest cancer center in the world. And there is a 600 patients of breast cancer are being tracked in a 3-arm trial. Extremely wonderful things. And our Lorenzo Cohen had come. Recently, we had a big conference in our campus. We had 15,000 delegates. And 4 main things: diabetology, oncology, cardiology, and mental health. We took, and all the top leaders had come, and we have made a thing that, yes, integration should be the thing. We must have the best of every system. We should not neglect anything. Combine the best of the West with the best of the East. Best in modern medical system should be taken. Similarly, what is best in yoga, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, homeopathy should be pulled out. and we must develop effective treatment healthcare delivery system with least side effects and with an evidence base that we have to bring, and it should be cost effective. We can't afford to have the modern medical system in our country, the land of villages. And even big developed countries like United States and UK are reeling down with the economic burden of the health. So it is time that we have to bring in. And traditional Ayurveda and these things, जड़ी बूटी का हमारे देश में जितना हो रहा था, इतना कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव है, ये सबको लाना है. योगा तो इतना सरल है, सब लोग को प्रैक्टिस करना है, इसलिए उसका कुछ महंगा नहीं हो सकता है. इस ढंग से इसको लाना है, कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव करना है, हम देश के लिए बहुत देना है. इस रुचि से I once again congratulate our Sneha Foundation and this wonderful work they have started, and I'm sure that all of us will work together as one harmonious whole to see that India goes and becomes the wonderful way by which we can contribute to the whole world, because now we have the scientific evidence one side and we have got all the modalities. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Dhanyavad.